Well, it's going to be young Patrice Nesbitt who has been sent out ahead of Adrian Williams and Purvis Burke and the like. Pretty good batsman too. But it's a pressure situation of flatter, faster. There's Javier Libert not pulling it in, probably diving over it. And Clark gets another single. 71 for 3 the score. And young Patrice Nesbitt is an exciting prospect. He'll be dancing down the pitch. He'll be creased, but sometimes gets a little over exuberant and gives it away. So here goes. It's going to be Prentice bowls. He's flashing and beaten. Maybe got a bit of bat onto that. We'll never know. Keeper didn't collect cleanly. It wasn't a good start to his 92 for the loss of 3. There's another change in the bowling. Javon Manners, the young off spinner, is into the attack. Let's see how he handles this pressure situation. He normally bowls a few wides, and he has been known to bowl quite a number of wides in his opening spell. As he moves in now to bowl. Manners moves in now to bowl. Starts with a good delivery. Wide of Javier Libert, punched into the offside. It's still T1 Prentice down there. So he's not very fleet-footed, but he's been asked to cover quite some distance on the deep boundary down there. So that brings the left-handed Patrice Nesbitt into strike. Here is Manners. Prepares now to bowl to Nesbitt. Bowls, and Nesbitt is punching it into the offside nicely. Rakesh is racing in, bubbles with it. They should be thinking 2. They aren't, and they got a single easily. The score now 73 for the loss of 3. In terms of not bowling wides, in previous games he would have already bowled at least 2. So here he goes now. He bowls and he's going big, hard and handsome onto the roof of the Biogen school, and it has gone. So good heave by Tijari Clark. He's really batting out of his skin here. He has been batting superbly. And it looks as if Patrice Nesbitt has called for a change of bats and has gotten it. He has borrowed a bat from Ross Powell. Ross Powell is here. So the cricketers from the league are watching this game. Last week, Rakeem Cornwall was here as well. I would assume that he's somewhere in the crowd. Let's see how Manners comes back from this. Clark has really batted superbly. And he's hitting with the wind now. Flat and fast. That one hitting him on the pad. There's a shot, but with no confidence really. That one was going down the leg side, flatter and faster. Struck him on the pad. So Javon Manners once more. Well, moving now to bowl to Clark. Here he goes, bowls to Clark. Clark gets one flat and fast on stumps. He comes quietly forward. So good comeback so far by the captain now to bowl a little faster, a little flatter, after being hit on the school roof for 6. Here he goes once more. He bowls. He's swinging into that. And there's a man deep. Rakesh bubbles with it and regains control. They're going to get 2. So 2 more to the total. So Manners not being allowed to settle by Clark. Attempting the slug sweep on that occasion. Settles over his bat, a bit of a low crouch as he goes. Pulls up. Maybe missing his run up there. Must be having a bit of a nervous situation here as he bowls. He's bowling wide. And Clark deciding, well, I already got the wide. I'm not going to risk a run out. So he normally bowls a few wides. He has done well so far. But he has just bowled one. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl to Clark. Clark is driving. There's Ryan Solomon moving across to his left. Stops it. That ends the over. So 11 overs completed, 82 for 3 to score. T1 Prentice it is. Bowls to Nesbitt going inside out over extra cover. The man is racing across. Can he pull it in? He does. They're going back for the second, so they get two very easily. So he's going to be very positive. Young Nesbitt. He's a very positive young player. So Prentice will bowl once more, and he's actually going to chip to the spin bowler, so the keeper has to be sharp if he misses. So here he goes once more. Prentice bowls, loops it, he's driving down the pitch to the bowler, who stops it nicely and nicely to his right that time. T1 Prentice dropped a catch down there earlier and would have been very disappointed with himself. He's just didn't pull it in. Javier Liebert was diving away to his right. That right hand is already injured. He didn't injure it any further, but he was diving across to his right. He was dropping on him, and he just didn't hold on. Be brave. He's going to be punching Nesbitt. Here he goes, shorter, flatter. He's tugging at this one. There's Rakis, puts his chest in the way and doesn't know where it ends. Eventually finds it, and they get an easy single in the end. But putting his entire body on the line on that occasion, and that brings the more assured Tijari Clark, who has really played out of his skin here today. He has played a superb knock, young Tijari Clark. A little bit of a hold up as Boland made an adjustment in the outside. Here's T1 Prentice bowls. He's just deliberately playing with soft hands down towards Jaden Brown. Can't prevent the single. It was a deliberate shot. So he has really played well, Tijari Clark. Knows where the field is. He knows who the ball is going to, who he could take chances with. So it's going to be Patrice Nesbitt settles now. As T1 Prentice bowls flat, and he's tugging this one. And he's thinking of two. My goodness, there's Clark rushing back. Rushed back very quickly indeed. And Jelani Manners couldn't prevent two. So two more to the total. By his team to bowl another over. Was treated pretty roughly by Tijari Clark in the last over. Here you go, bowled, he's sweeping at that, he comes off the pad. There's a poor bit of work there by Jaden Brown. Came across and it went through his legs, the youngster. And celebration for the highlights team. You could hear the shouts down there as that one went away through the legs of the young Brown, and he went for his legs for 4. So Manners moves in once more to bowl. He's getting one flat and in the block hole. He jabs down on it, can't score. Good comeback. Here goes once more, moves in now to bowl. He's going high, hard, handsome. That's another maximum by Clark. He got the width, and with a little bend of the knee, he pounced on it. And this time he didn't aim for the school. Last time he was on the school, he was towards the netball, basketball area. And that's gone for 6. So he has gotten his half century, raises his bat now. That's his half century, well played. Superb innings by young Clark. And he seems as if he's going to be the difference between the two teams today. Into the report, it's 58 runs required from 45 deliveries. Clark will settle. Jevon Manners moves in now to bowl. He's sweeping at that. That's going to be a wide. So Clark seemed disappointed that he didn't latch on to that. And that's another wide by Jevon Manners. He has had difficulty with the wides, but he has done pretty well today. Only 2 so far. It's full toss. He slams it and he goes wide of the field at long off. He comes across fields beautifully. Brilliant work there by Delvin Phillip. He moved across the field to his left very quickly indeed and handled it well in the end. Got the return in quickly. But it was a full toss. Almost put away. Not quite. Single. So that brings Patrice Nisbet into strike. And he too seems anxious to get after the bowling. Here's Manners flat and he's punching it down the ground towards the man at long off, Andrew Brown. And only a single. It was very nice to see Andrew Brown congratulating Tijari Clark from long range for a good innings. So here goes now. Bowls his sweep to that. It goes away from Jelani Manners for 4. A little bend of the knee, superbly played by Tijari Clark. He has played a range of shots all afternoon, and that's one of them, the sweep shot. And that was beautifully played. It's going to be Tuan Prentice now to bowl to Patrice Nisbet. He comes quietly, solidly forward. Gives him the maker's mark as that one goes back up the strip to the bowler. So here's Prentice in now. Down the track goes Nisbet, driving nicely. He was out of the blocks early. Almost looked premeditated for a moment there because he started to move very early, long before the ball was delivered, and drove it sweetly down to long off for a single. All along the ground too. So he has put his more senior partner back on strike. Tijari Clark was really played an excellent hand here. Watches this one outside the off stump. T1 Prentice looks back anxiously at the umpire, thinking he might have been called a wide. Umpire Carl Tuckett is as immobile as Mount Nevis. Here he goes, loops it up, hits it inside out. That's a lovely heave into the offside. The man is racing across, can't stop it, and it's gone for another 4. Inside out over extra cover. And another shot by Tijari Clark, bringing up yet another boundary for him. I told you earlier that this man in another tournament made 121, I think it was. Well, here he goes now. Prentices, he's on driving. He's on that occasion, but kept it out well. It was flat and fast and right on line. Kept it out nicely. So he's going to be the difference between the two teams. Here it is now that T1 Prentice loops this one, beaten! The bells are removed, but the unpressed, he certainly was overbalancing there. But the keeper removed the bells, but his back foot was within the safe zone. And that ends the over. And we'll get the updated scores when they come to hand. 111 for 2. Tijari Clark is on 61.
Dog with a ball, one fast with a ball, one with a ball.
Well, some debate in the Empire camp. I'll get back to that as Delvin Phillip, the captain, bowls. He's cutting this one, but there's a man deep. That's Devon Manners. Picks it up nicely. They're looking for 2, but it's not on. So a little bit of a debate as to who should bowl now. This final set of overs, I think 7 left, and when they should bowl, which end they should bowl from. And I think the senior statesmen in the team debating over that. But I think they've settled that Delvin Phillip will definitely bowl this one. Little T1 Prentice down here. Not too sure if that's the best move. He's not very quick across the outfield. As here he goes. Clark in strike. Delvin Phillip moves in. He's flicking at this one. Beaten. That would be a wide. Off target there is Phillip. Somebody's flying away. So it's going to be Delvin Phillip. Races it now. To bowl to Clark. Clark is hitting it up. Fish lead just away from Rakesh. He dived despairingly. It was in the air and he was diving away despairingly, but just couldn't pull it in. And dropped short of him. And gets a single. So maybe a chance going a beg in there, but it was a good way away from him. As it's going to be Phillip. Here he goes. Races it now to bowl to Patrice Nisbet. Here he goes. Bowl. Nisbet is driving off the outer edge. Oh, well stopped in the end because he was going the wrong way first of all. Looks like Manners. And then he managed to swing back and stop it. That's Jevon, the younger of the two. And a single. So Patrice Nisbet also staying positive. He's going after the bowling. He's not really going to play pat a cake. He's also trying to hit the ball hard. But this is the man. This is the danger man. He has batted superbly, Tijari Clark. Probably never got the opportunities like some others in the under-19 teams. He's driving past the Delvin Phillip in the air. But he was flat-footed, was a Delvin Phillip. He put out his right hand despairingly, but I don't think he even touched it. And Tijari Clark maybe getting a little tired here. He has played a couple of balls loosely in the last couple of deliveries. We need to steady and focus. So it's a very interesting stage of the game. Delvin Phillip trying to break this partnership. Here he goes. Out to bowl. He's hitting it down the ground. Oh, gone for 4. That's a lovely hit by Patrice Nisbet. It was in his half, and he really latched onto it, hit it aerial, down the ground. Andre Brown is fleet-footed, but he couldn't stop that one. And it went flying away for 4. Terrific shot. Now, Delvin Phillip is capable of bowling the snorters. Fast bowlers don't like to be hit like that. What will be his response? Patrice Nisbet settles as he moves in now to bowl back up in his half-can shot. He's batting with a bat borrowed from Ross Powell, and for a moment there, that almost looked like Ross Powell. He was so smooth into the shot as he drove it up towards Nelson Bowl, and that's the end of the over. And we'll get the updated score. So I must say that the weather has held very nicely, and certainly very interesting stage of this game. T1 Prentice moves in now to bowl to Nisbet on driving. There's Jaden Brown, who has misfielded a couple of times for the after. Getting on to this one and getting the return in. Can't prevent the single though. So one more to the total. So it's going to be Clark. And he has really batted out of his skin here, I can tell you. Superb knock. Here's Prentice. He's swinging in the air. I think he's hitting against the breeze. This might be... No, it's gone. He has hit against the breeze for the second time and cleared the fence. Rian, that's the second time. The wind is pretty stiff coming towards us. And this is... Hardly anybody has done it for the afternoon in the 2 matches, hitting into the wind and clearing the fence at the far end. And Tijari Clark has done it with ease. Lovely heave. Here goes once more. This time he's pushing nicely, coming across and can't prevent the single. One more to Clark. He has batted sensibly. So he challenged the very tall Rian Solomon down there and cleared the fence by a long way. He has hit a couple of 6s, probably 4 by now. One definitely on the VOJ and school roof. Down the track he goes. Ball! A bad shot. Rash shot. I saw him do it earlier. Started going down the pitch before the bowler delivered. He ran down the track as if somebody had called him. And whoever called him didn't respond to him. Left him down the track. He's bowled a miserable looking shot in the end after a pretty decent knock. But that was a poor way to get out young Patrice Nisbet. He would want to look back at this and say, what in the world? What bestung me there? And that's a crucial wicket. Emergency cabinet meeting now for the Empire team. They will be thinking out what will happen in the next few overs, who will bowl them, what will happen. "28 runs required from 26 balls, 128 for 4. And this cabinet meeting is crucial. And Adrian Williams can thump it around the park a bit. He's going to join Tijari Clark. The highlights batting goes pretty deep.
It would be Prentice to bowl to the new batsman, Adrian. Prentice is bowling from the Nisbet Plantation Inn. Adrian takes his guard, and he would be receiving from the bowler, Prentice. Left arm. So it's Prentice into bowl to Williams, and Williams is playing this one quietly out into the offside. Ramesh, the guy from cover, feels well, returns to the bowler. No chance of a run. Prentice once again and he's hitting at that one. That one took him on the pad. There's no appeal. That's the end of the over. 139 for 4. And who would continue from the VOJNN? There's a little conference between Bolan and the captain. Would a new bowler be introduced? Javier Liban has come into the conversation, and so has Yadi. So they'll decide who to bowl from here. It looked like it could be Solomon changing ends, I'm not sure. No, it would be the skipper to continue from the VOJNN. He will be bowling to Tijari Clark, who is over 60 at this time. We see Bolan and Yadi coming out to long on and long off, respectively. And he comes now from the VOJNN, Indari. And he's hitting this one. Is that gone? Yes, it's on the roof of the VOJN school. That's 6 runs. Wow, that's a good hit. That's probably his fifth six for the afternoon. He's really batting well. He goes once again into bowl to Tijari. This one is beat everything. He beat the wicketkeeper. He goes into the boundary, 4 byes.
And it looks to me as if the Empire team is rattled at this point. They certainly seem to be looking a little bit despondent here.
Well, the captain will continue from the VOJN end, but Tijari Clark is batting a gem of an innings. And he goes now to bowl to Clark, short and steering this one out into the offside. Solomon come around, fields, no chance, just a single. So the score moves on by 1. And Empire looks like they have lost this one.
Remind you that cricket is a funny old game. We saw it earlier today in the first game. You never know.
Well, it's into Clark again, and Clark is struck on the pad. There's a loud appeal, but the umpire is not interested, and they run through for a leg by. Did he get a leg by, Curtis? Okay. So it will be Adrian Williams. 16 from 20 balls. So it's going to be another close finish, I think. But with Tijari Clark there, I would bet my money on the highlights team. And he goes now to bowl to Williams. And Williams is driving pleasantly into the offside. No chance of a run.
Tijari Clark.
Is Tijari back facing? Okay. Well fielded by Javier Liban in the covers. What the bowler name again? Delvin Phillip now into bowl to Tijari Clark. And he's playing this one into the offside and straight out to the man at long off. He gets 1. Score moves on by 1, so they'll fifth get at the end of the over. Tijari is 82. He's 18 short of 100, but I think they need maybe less runs than he needs for his 100. I think they need about 15 runs now. So he wouldn't be able to get his 100 this afternoon. Look like the fast bowler Boland would be coming from the far end, from the Nisbet end. Yes, he's marking out his run. Probably has 1 or 2 more overs left, I'm not sure. But the keeper has taken off his helmet, so he's going back. And it would be 15 from 18. Tijari need 18. He will be facing Boland. Boland, the fast bowler, is calling in the field. He's sending out the captain, Delvin Phillip, out. The mid-wicket boundary. He has taken some great catches for the afternoon, Delvin Phillip, as Boland misses his run. He's making adjustment. He's asking the fielder at the third man boundary to come in, as a little shorter, come in within the circle. This is Boland now, running in from the far end, into bowl to Clark. And Clark is driving nicely, pleasantly out to long on. Gets a single and gets it quite easily. That's Solomon down there feeling. 1 more run. So they are 14 short. 14 runs short of victory here. Really good reply from the highlights team. Almost making it look a little easy after losing their opening pair. Boland. And he's cracking this one. Single. Is there a chance for a run out? They're looking for 2. There's a little mix up. And they make it. 2 runs. Well run, well run, well run. Well, Adrian Williams is not only a javelin thrower, he looked like a sprinter out there this afternoon and played a good shot as well. And he would be facing Boland from the far end. Boland to Williams. And he's taking that one off the pads. Did he take the bat? Take 1. Wide signal by the umpire. And a bye signal. Oh, wide signal, sorry. So it'll be Tijari Clark to face Boland. The lights is on here at the VOJN. It's after 6. As Boland comes into bowl to Adrian Williams. And he took a big swipe. Oh, Tijari Clark, sorry. Going for a big swipe, missing it. It was a slow delivery. Keeper didn't take it cleanly, just took it on the pads. Boland with bowl once more to Tijari Clark. Lights is on. As Boland comes into bowl to Clark. And Clark is driving pleasantly. That's a lovely shot.
Maybe the shot of the day.
And it beats Solomon into the boundary. That's 4 runs. That's probably take him on to like 87. 4 runs. The spectators are getting excited. This is like the home ground of the highlights team. So they have a lot of support here. Boland will try once again into bowl to Tijari Clark. And he's hitting this one hard. Is it handsome?
Brilliant catch.
No, he's out.
Brilliant catch.
Who took the catch? Solomon. He didn't get the whole of that one, and Solomon took a brilliant catch there in the boundary. But is it a little too late? Being caught Delvin Phillip as he walks off. But that was a brilliant catch. It was a little unsighted here, but Curtis saw it. Curtis, could you describe that catch, please?
Well, he actually didn't latch on to it. He would have hit 2 sixes in that general area. I think he wanted to repeat the shot down the ground. And it went low. He was dropping in front of Ryan Solomon. He's a tall man. He covered the distance and he dived forward and locked in both hands around it. And he gets a standing of Clark as he goes back. That was a brilliant knock. And the crowd really excited, both sides of the fence in terms of the 2 teams involved here. Their supporters now thinking that both teams still have a chance.
Well, let's see if there is anything with that wicket, but think it's a little too late for Empire at this time. They need 6 runs from 13 balls. I think it's all highlights. Who is the new batsman, Curtis? Burvis Burke is the new batsman. He would be facing. He'll be facing Bolan. He's playing it into the onside, into the offside, looking and thinking of a single, but there's no chance. The fielders are getting sharp. So Burvis would go down and have a word with Adrian Williams as they would decide on how they would get this. There's a lot of deliveries, so it's in their court. Would there be a bowling train from the VOJNN? Is Yadi a bowler? He has the ball and he's. Huh? Oh, Solomon is going to come from this end. Probably has 1 or 2 overs left. Backs out his run. I must say commendations to Carlisle Powell and his team for organizing this Harvey Stapleton, Pomby Boy Stapleton 2020. It was very exciting. The last couple matches, I remember last week a match went into the the super over. It was very interesting. Now today is the finals. It looks like Empire Highlights is running away with it. We're gonna get Ryan Solomon from the. He has strange ends. He's now marking out his run once more. He's bowling from the VOJN end. That's the Violet O. J. Nichols Primary School end. And he would be bowling to Adrian Williams. They need 5 runs to win. They're coming in now. They're bringing in the field because it's just 5 runs needed, and they know they can pick up this. They'll be looking to pick up singles, if not the boundary. Well, if they get it past the infield, they will get the boundary. Let's see what they will do. Williams is going for a. If he's beaten, that's a good delivery. Good delivery by Solomon. Solomon, I understand, is just about 19, but he's a very big guy. Solomon once more. Into bowl to Williams. Bowl over pitch, that one is struck it. And it's taken. Struck it high in the air, was trying to clear the man at mid on, but it's Bolan, and Bolan just jogged back a couple yards and took an easy catch. He's a very good catcher.
I'm not sure about the easy in that. He had to judge it well. He had to be pedaling back, but he judged it superbly. Adrian Williams decided to go over the infield because they were closing in on him, knowing that the runs are very few now. And he started to decided to back himself to go for the big heave. And it was brilliantly done in the end by Bolan.
So a wicket there to Solomon. Well caught by his fellow fast bowler, Nelson Bolan. Who is the new batsman, Curtis? Archibald, who is the new batsman. He'll come in and he would be taking strike. So yeah. The cross? Okay, so Burke will face. Alright, it would be Burke. Will be. Okay, the field has been adjusted and it would be Solomon to bowl to Burke. Solomon into Burke. Driving has another over pitch delivery. Is gone for 4.
That's a crucial. Well, he's running after it. It's gone for 4.
Gone for 4. We signal now.
The score's tied.
I think the scores are level.
The crowd, they're cheering.
I think the crowd is cheering because the scores are now level. So 1 more run needed. think it's just one run, and Buck would be facing Solomon. This 2 more runs, sorry. Well, I think Buck is gonna go again for a big hit. He's driving, actually a drop catch, Curtis. Oh, bounce ball. Struck it back to Solomon. He stopped it. Didn't field cleanly, but no chance of a run. 2 more runs. Purvis Burke is a good batsman. I saw him make a 50 here in the earlier games, one of the earlier games. (156). 2 more runs to win. 156. Just 2 more runs for victory for highlights. Solomon missing his run on that occasion. The field is in once more. Everybody is just one man at the third man boundary outside the circle. The rest fielders are in. See a little adjustment made there to the field as Giladi Manners moves from the onside into the offside. All of them in the circle except the third man. And Solomon has been driven out to the onside. They get one. The scores are level. So there's 1 more run for victory now. No, I think there's like 2 more overs to go, so it wouldn't become a super over. It would be Archibald who would be facing. Bowler, and he's slamming at that one. They're thinking about a run. No chance of a run. Is that the end of the over? No. The end of the over. You see the umpire now signaling as a cyclist pass on the far end. Doing a wheelie, as they say. Front wheel up. Well, that is all in the hands of the highlights. No. Yes, Buck would be facing.
Watch this field setting very carefully. The field setting is very interesting. It's a packed offside field. Short extra cover. Jaden Brown has been brought into like a slip. We have a short extra cover point made on short mid wicket square leg. Rakesh it is, bowls it down the ground. That's a lovely shot by Burke. That's a way to finish a game. Driven down the ground and the race onto the field. Highlights has done the double in one day. The junior team did it. Now the senior team has done it. Walter, your thoughts?
Well, Highlights has won both finals, the juniors and the seniors, and they are happy. They are on the field jumping up. The umpire team would be disappointed, but the crowd is a little quiet for a victory celebration, but the team is out there celebrating, and some of the management members of the Highlights team, but they have done it this afternoon. They have done it this morning. Highlights winning 2 matches today. Congratulations to the Highlights team for winning the first division and the second division finals today, the 20th of March 2022. Well done, Highlights.
And so we thank you so much for viewing this live stream. We hope that we brought it to you live and direct and that you appreciated it. And so we want to thank Lawson Morton for doing all the technical work in the background. Nikita Hendrickson for assisting, and Walter Morton for doing some commentary at the back end here. But the Highlights team, jubilant. They have done it 2 times for one day. First, their second division team won in a close encounter. This was another close encounter, not as close as the first one, but they won it handsomely in the end. Straight drive down the ground by Purvis Burke to finish the game. And we have seen some wonderful stroke play. All this was a beautiful way to finish it. Straight down the ground for 4. Hi, what's up?